The views expressed on this program are those of the producers and individuals appearing on this program and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Sun Prairie Media Center staff, its video service providers, or the staff and elected officials of the City of Sun Prairie.
Hi, I'm Shirley Gutkowski, and welcome to the new version of A Spot for Health. So for the last couple of years, I've been doing these episodes mainly by myself, and I've been inviting different guests in to talk about their modalities and the way that they practice and how we can practice together. And then we kind of got a little tired of that and started running out of people. And recently I met my new best friend, Shalom Samuels, and she is a chiropractor here in Sun Prairie. And I asked her if she would like to help me relaunch the Spot for Health and bring in this whole chiropractic side of things. And she said, yes. So thank you, Shalom. Welcome to the Spot for Health, and thanks for taking over some of these heavy lifting kind of conversations.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's always fun to work with you, especially since we share a lot of our values and helping kids as well. Mm-hmm. So a little bit about myself. I'm Dr. Shalom Samuel. Like she said, I am a family chiropractor in Sun Prairie. I just moved to a new space off of High Crossing Boulevard. And I'm actually having an open house at the end of the month on September 30th from 5 to 7 p.m.
Super.
Yeah. And I'm geared more towards babies.
Do you have clowns or caravans or
no,
balloons, face painting?
With the world at a glance right now, it's kind of not possible to have all the fun things. But there will be some chair massages, beamer sessions, oils, raffles. Yeah.
Oh, super.
And you get to know a little bit about myself and what we do.
Great. How do we find out more about it?
You can check out my Facebook page, just Shalom Family Chiropractic, and all the details are there.
Super. Okay. We got to get that out of the way, and we'll repeat that as well. So let's start at the beginning. Where did you go to chiropractic school?
I went to chiropractic school in Davenport, Iowa, Palmer College of Chiropractic. It is the Harvard of chiropractic school, as Palmer himself developed chiropractic.
The whole thing,
Yeah, there. And we just celebrated the anniversary, too. So, yeah, I was there for 4 years, graduated, worked in Arizona, California. Then once we started to have a family, we wanted to be close to family. So we were back in Wisconsin since 2017.
Oh, nice. And you live right here in Sun Prairie, so that's good.
Yeah.
So we met through a networking group called the Polka Dot Group.
Yep.
And that was kind of fun. How did you become involved with the Polka Dot Group?
Well, through you.
Oh, through me. Because they told me I have to meet this Shalom lady, and I was like, okay, I'll meet anybody.
I don't think I joined it yet until I spoke to you.
No.
Really? And you said all these great things.
So I get credit for that. I wonder if they marked that down.
Yeah, and our mutual friend, Jen Bull.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. She is a
Reiki.
Yenta.
Yeah.
She just brings people together. She's like, oh, you and you, bump, you and you, bump. And so she's pretty magical that way.
Yeah.
She also, you mentioned the beamer. She also is involved with that beamer. So we'll probably have them both here, Tina Shayway and Jennifer Bull, to talk about that in a future episode. Because that thing's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. And the cool thing about all of us helping each other plus helping people is that although we just have one human body, you need so many other people, experienced people, to take care of it well.
Yes. Yeah. So truer words have not been spoken yet today. Okay, so you went to college and then you came and you traveled around the country, and so now you just moved out of your house because you were seeing your chiropractic clients in your home.
Yeah, since 2019.
Wow.
That's when I opened Shalom Family Chiropractic. And just with the kids being young and being able to take care of family and business at the same time, so I just decided to open at the house, and it worked well. But I felt that I've outgrown my space and I want to be able to serve the community better. And so this was a perfect time. And just a month ago, I moved to my new space.
It's really pretty. I mean, you have a nice area there in that building. So that's awesome. So family, I don't know why I still have, I don't even know what I want to say about it, but it's just infants and chiropractic has not really been on my radar till maybe 10 or 15 years ago. And then I was like, oh my God, of course. So when you're dealing with the whole family, how does that look?
Well, usually I get newborns, you know.
That's your entry? That's when people come to you for the first appointment? Wow.
Newborns and issues like not breastfeeding or breastfeeding on one side. Or army crawling, you know, like the scoot mechanism. They'll scoot one side, but the other side will be functioning like normal crawling, and then the other side will just drag. So something wrong with the pelvis, colic, and constipation. Those are the 3 or 4 issues that are on top. And they'll usually have a traumatic birth. I mean, what birth isn't? But that is our first trauma, right, as human beings. So that's why I always encourage families to get their newborn checked. Just a routine exam to figure out if there's any misalignments. And once you clear it, they meet all of their milestones fine. Because, I think the average amount of time a baby falls before it stands up, it's like every day 23 times.
Oh, so. I'm not surprised.
So things like that.
And they don't care.
No, we forget. They forget, but our bodies don't. So, and then they may have issues. So, and them to reach that milestone, you can't just start walking. You need to have that crawling feature, because that's how it's supposed to work, each step at a time.
Right.
So that's how they come in first, and then they learn about chiropractic care, and then the dad says, oh, I want to get checked. I've been having this, and then the mom wants to get checked, and then my goal is to have them be free of interference, basically. So future generations are born healthy into the world, whether it's deficient in supplementation, deficient in diet, mental health, emotional health, physical health, obviously, to have your spine aligned.
Yeah. And it does get crooked in there.
Yep.
I mean, when you see even on a sonogram and how like balled up they are, and even just their little legs take a good couple of weeks to stretch out, and and that whole thing. So our kids never saw a chiropractor. I didn't know that should be done. So I'm glad to know that's how early you can start with preventive health care.
Yeah. Better yet, a pregnant mom.
So how does that work? So I had twins. I gained 26 pounds. I haven't lost them, and I had another kid after, so I'm just like walking around with all this baby weight. So they're 40, but whatever. So I was like out here. Nobody could tell from behind that I was pregnant, and I got used to people going like that when they came up from behind me. I don't know if I could reach around. They were 6'2" and 7'1", so they were decent sized babies. And so what would you do for a mother? We swam every day. They were born in August, so it was a long summer. But we went to the pool every day. I don't know if that had a lot to do with it or not. But what would you do for somebody that's pregnant and that's like super pregnant?
Well, I would just do a normal evaluation just to make sure, just like any other human being, basically.
Yeah.
Just to check, because your hormones are through the roof, and
Yeah.
so all your muscles are really kind of wobbly. They're not
Yeah.
very stable. So most of the time, my job is to stabilize the pelvis. And once you stabilize the pelvis and give enough room, the baby's able to move. And so the mom doesn't feel the discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you go out of alignment faster because, so every week.
Because you're a different size every couple weeks, right?
Right. And the majority of the time, it's just aligning the mom's pelvis and the spine, and the baby automatically, or your uterus and your pelvic floor has enough room.
Okay.
That's the goal, and to keep the mom as comfortable as possible.
So, do you have mothers bring like a sonogram?
Sometimes.
Do they?
Mm-hmm.
To help you see if there's a problem?
Mm-hmm. Well, I can't really tell with just that, but just like I check everyone's spine, I would check the mom's spine with a nice round pillow for their belly.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can also see where the baby is,
Mm-hmm.
and to also if sometimes they move, sometimes they don't like the adjustments I do on the mom, and then they'll kick, and we'll work along with that. And so more about keeping the mom comfortable, and therefore therefore the baby is comfortable.
So that would improve the birthing process.
Yes.
For sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
So okay.
And it's also not just a physical realm, like mentally, to be able to be prepared. Sometimes moms have that fear, of the birthing process, so it's kind of working through that too to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have found that, other chiropractors that I talked to have found that mom's fears actually comes from when she was in utero. So a lot of interconnections between mental, physical, and emotional health there.
It's crazy how far back you can go to these beginning stages.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where I'm at right now, and thinking about how important it is to do prevention as early as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to a friend of mine, a pediatric dentist down in Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
and he was pointing out that the chin is now normalized to being back farther. So in the sonograms, you can see all of these fetuses with no chin, or that there's a big, I'm using the wrong hand, between the lower jaw and the upper jaw.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been normalized now so that people think that it's normal, and it's not normal at all.
Right.
And there's no anthropological precedent for this retrognathic jaw. And so that is interfering with their breathing and their airway and their ability to nurse, and all of these other kinds of things. And there's not a lot that we can do about it. He says he's treating those patients before they're born, but I don't know what he does. So I'll be seeing him in a couple of weeks again at a conference. So I might have more things to say about it in a couple of weeks. But it's really hard to know what to do and where to intervene. And the chiropractic point of view, I think, is really helpful in processing birthing and working with the infant to get the infant in better condition.
Right. Because what's done is done.
Right.
But we can go forward with a better outlook.
Right.
And then their generations as well.
Well, right. And that's why I always say I think we should scoop up the 12-year-olds and help them understand what they need to do to foster future generations. They are in charge. What are you going to do? And they can clean up themselves. And with the influence of professionals like you and the dental hygienist, they spend the most time with a dental hygienist than any other healthcare provider. They're a half an hour twice a year, 45 minutes twice a year, and we can improve their overall health.
Right.
by steering them away from things like what do you call it, industrial fats from seeds and sugars and makeup and processed foods and makeup. I hardly ever talk about makeup because I never did makeup, but yes, that's a good point.
Yeah, because it's usually not clean. That's why.
Yeah.
Not the wearing part.
Yes.
The content of it.
And yeah, it interrupts a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that work then? So you see the baby, you get them all straightened out, then what happens? Then you just send them on their merry way, or do you have to see them every day?
It depends upon the issue or what we're working toward. So holding the adjustment, so I usually see them once a week for like 3 weeks, and then we'll do a reval and see how they're holding it. And then I also like to explain that my job is not for their spine or their body to be independent or dependent on my work.
There you go.
You know, my job is to have your body acclimate to your environment. So, you know, there are some stressors like, you know, something happened like a divorce or moving or having a baby. Those are all stressors, but they're good stressors, but yet they are stressors. So during those times, I see a lot more of them in the office than when like they're on vacation because they're relaxed all the time.
Yeah.
You know, so I basically leave it up to them after I've explained the process on how your body works. If they are under a lot of stress, they're always in that fight or flight mode, you know. The bear's always chasing them. Stress is always chasing them. So so they like to have their nervous system checked so that you're able to adapt to your environment better. And it's just not mental and emotional stress. It's the chemicals we put in our mouth. It's the chemicals we breathe. And trauma. Like I said, the very first trauma is birth. But, you know, we learn to crawl. We fall on our butts a billion times. We get into car accidents. We bump our heads somewhere.
Fall down the stairs.
We carry babies.
Yeah.
You know, we carry 7-year-olds. My husband was carrying my 4-year-old on his back when we went to Yellowstone. So, like, all of those are traumas to our spine.
I guess. I would have liked my dad to carry me on his shoulders. That would have been fun. Get a bird's eye view up there.
and after a few days, he couldn't. He was like, I have a headache and I don't know where it's from. You know, you got to clear your nervous system. So things like that happen, and we're able to adapt to our environment better with proper chiropractic care.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that, you know, that patients shouldn't be dependent on you to continue their life. You just want to get them repaired from whatever thing happened. So what do you see a lot of kids on the spectrum, on the autism spectrum, for instance, or who have other kind of special needs, I guess is the PC term?
I wouldn't say a lot, but some, yes. Yeah, it's been like they go to speech therapy too and get adjusted. So we're clearing out their nervous system little by little. And with enhanced therapies, they're able to function at at their highest potential.
At their highest level, yeah, because that's...
So we have less tantrums, less timeouts because of their tantrums.
Yeah.
And just... it's the process of getting them out of that fight or flight mode, you know, for them to be able to rest and relax. Like all of us are always 90%, even 100% of the time, always chasing something,
right?
You know, and that stress is not how our body is supposed to function. At night, you're supposed to sleep that time so you can rest and relax.
Right.
Who goes to bed at 9 o'clock? Like, even if the kids do, they're not able to breathe. Like, that goes into your realm.
Right.
They're not able to breathe right. Even adults are not able to breathe right because they're not getting enough oxygen. The body keeps waking them up.
Yeah.
So with the nervous system being cleared, they're able to get that good night's rest so your body can actually rest and relax and restore the stressors of the day, you know.
So you keep saying when the nervous system is cleared. So can you elaborate on that a little bit? Because I would like to elaborate on first foods and how that relates to airway development.
So clear meaning, I like to say, like, your nerves go through your spine. That whole thing, the autonomic nervous system, the whole spine is your nervous system. And from your brain, the communication to the rest of your body are through these nerves that exit through the spine. So if you think of a hose, like hose that waters our garden, it keeps watering every day, but one day we park a big old truck on top of the hose. So we're not getting the nutrients to the garden. So the garden's not getting, so that the garden is like our organs. It's not getting the message across. We need to hold our pee until the morning. Well, it's not getting across because the truck is on top of the hose, or the bone is on top of the nerve being pinched. So the message is not getting across. So once we clear the nervous system or adjust a spine, I simply adjust the spine and it clears. So the bone is being put back into place or in alignment.
So it's not really pinched. It's just interfered with?
It starts with interference.
Okay.
And then, see, for example, if they fall on their butts when they were learning to walk but never got it corrected. So that repetitive impingement or landing, so it gets worse and worse and worse. Statistically speaking, your nerve has to be compressed between 60 and 70% for you to actually feel pain.
Wow.
So imagine they're going through their adolescent life and in their 20s, and one day they pick up something like keys off the floor. And it's like, what did they say? Isn't there a saying? The straw that broke
the camel's back, sure.
Like that. So that's why taking a good history is so important. Because people laugh at me when they come in in their 50s and be like, I don't know how I was born. Like, I want to know what all happened when you were born. Like, was there a vacuum
suction,
extraction, or was there anything used? Were you a C-section baby? Did you have cradle cap when you were born? Did you breastfeed? I don't know. Were you bottle fed? Did you sleep through the night?
I don't know if I told my kids if they had cradle cap or not.
Those little things. That's why it takes about an hour with me the first consult, because I want to know all those details. Because those little things when you were young may affect you when you were an adult. And then you go through your stressors like getting married, moving, having multiple kids, all that too. So it's a big process. That's why having babies checked after their birth is so vital for not only the parents, but for the kid themselves.
Just thinking back, do you remember, you probably don't remember paper baby books where you would write all this stuff down?
Oh, the tooth.
When the first tooth came out, and what was the first food, and blah, 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 and all of these things, and you'd write it all in this book. I don't think there was a slot for cradle cap.
Well, I just gave an example.
I don't know. I know, but there's just no... and by the second kid, you stop writing it all down. And then,
I'm pretty sure I just finished my 4-year-old child's book.
Just finished up that last little thing. Well, with respect to the early feeding and this idea of baby-led weaning, I think is really important. If they can't use their mouth and they don't learn how to choke on a piece of food that goes down and have those muscles constrict and squirt the food back up into their mouth, and their eyes all bug out and everything, that freaks parents out. I know, so cool. But those are the muscles of the snoring complex. Those are the muscles that start and grow to hold the airway open. And that happens, when do babies get their first food? Is it like 4 months or something, 5 months? So it's really important that they eat the right kinds of foods. That they have the right kind of fats in there. That I think everybody's almost done with the rice cereal. Are you finding that too?
Yeah, it's usually some sort of a fruit or vegetable these days.
And it should be eaten by hand. So if you're going to give your baby a piece of broccoli, it shouldn't be cut into little tiny pieces, because 4-month-old babies can't do this. They have to grab it like this, and it takes forever. I mean, you could make the whole dinner by the time the baby's done. Then you're all done. That works out good. But they have to grab a hold of the food, and if they can't grab it, they can't put it in their mouth.
Right.
So that's a real natural progression of how eating and breathing is supposed to work out. Is that something that you guys do?
Yeah, we did, and a lot of moms ask me what should their first food be, and first thing I ask, is the baby showing interest in the food? Like, because when you have your family eating time, and hopefully they do have a family eating time, and baby's there, and does she or he want to grab the food? And those are the signs. You know,
that they're ready.
Yeah, that they're ready, and then you can start. Like, it's kind of hard, and it's not a one recipe or one time for everyone. Like, everyone eats at 4 months. No, some people are early, some babies are late, some babies are in between. So yeah, so I usually, I mean, I'm not with them 24/7, so I don't know. So I ask all these questions to figure out when the mom or the dad, you know, you need to feel that he or she is ready, and then and you can try, and if they're not ready, it's okay.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, no, it's not a big deal.
But the bigger variety of foods that they eat, and that they eat like the whole food, not in a pouch or not off of a spoon, helps to develop this whole part right here from the ears down to the shoulders. And all of that is really, really important to develop. And I'm really excited about being able to explore these topics further with you as we go along with the Spot for Health, and to be together. Our next episode, we're going to be doing some breathing exercises with your daughter.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun, and help her get better at breathing.
Yep.
So for whatever reason, that wasn't working out real happy at the beginning. So I want to invite everybody to send questions or give our office a call. Our office is still, the Primal Air office is still over there next to Quick Trip, and our phone number is 608-318-2800, and you can find us also. We have a Facebook page, and we have a website. The website is primalair.com. And your Facebook page is
Shalom Family Chiropractic, or shalomfamilychiropractic.com is the website.
Oh, super. So you have a website. So that's great. And I'm looking forward to really diving deep into some of these questions and give parents an opportunity to learn more about different kinds of health care within the city limits of Sun Prairie, or basically city limits. So thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next time. This is Shirley Gutkowski signing off.
And Dr. Shalom Samuel.